Your time is precious and I'm not here to waste your time, so let's get started. Sanhua is an Asura of Calamity and a guardian originated from Huanglong. One thing that I find so interesting about Sanhua's lore is that she perceives the world through a unique lens, and her body temperatures remain lower than average. Using her Forte, she lowers the ambient temperature to prevent overclocking and summoning snow. Her right eye is so unique that makes me want to stare. My name is Timothy Randy, and this is the complete Sanhua build, teamcomp, echo, tip and tricks, and a character breakdown in Wuthering Waves. Sanhua is a 4-star Glacio element character and uses sword as her weapon, but you definitely have her through the event reward day 5. I will be straightforward to you, Sanhua is a must build. Here's why. For starters, she's rank 1 top tier SubDPS for any selfish on-field main DPS such as Jiyan, Calcharo, and especially for Encore. Aside from that, she's also versatile, meaning she is more than capable to be main DPS for Rover or Traveler, Jianxin, and Yang. Now let's talk about Sanhua's pros and cons before we dive in depth into her kit. Pros number 1, Sanhua has the fastest both concerto energy and resonance energy in the game so far. Second, when played as a support in general, she only needs 3 seconds to fully charge her concerto energy and trigger QTE, activating the main DPS best damage output. Third, playing her is extremely fun. It's sort of like you're playing a rhythm game with her heavy attack. Moreover, her outer skill provides basic attack deepen and is extremely valuable for basic attack DPS teams. How about her cons? Sanhua sequence 1's activation is somewhat slow with a window just 10 seconds, creating mismatch with her short output cycle rhythm. Also, upon switching heavy attack, which is called detonate, there's a risk of missing hits due to her flawless moves in battle. Therefore, she requires precise timing. There's not much that I can say about her cons because she is that good. The fact that we all gotten her for free and the best sub DPS as well, honestly, Kuro Games, we love you. Sanhua skills priority, just like Mortefi. I need you to understand that Sanhua's buffing as sub-DPS comes from the Resonance Liberation, which provides 38% heavy attack damage deepen for 14 seconds for the next character you switch to. This is where she is the jack of all trades as an excellent sub-DPS universally. Now first, her passive skill condensation giving damage dealt by Sanhua Resonance skill increased by 20% for 8 seconds after casting her intro skill. Secondly, another one of Sanhua's inherent passive skill is Avalanche, which increases her damage dealt by resonance skills by 20% for 8 seconds after casting basic attacks 5 times. As for her bonus stats, she gained Glacio damage bonus by 12% and on top of that, attack increase by 12% when you unlock Sanhua's passives. Moving on to her active skills priority, Sanhua Resonance Revelation Ultimate should be the first, followed up by Forte Circuit, Resonance skills, intro skills, and basic attack last. Sanhua will create ice structures as she uses her skill. Ultimate and intro skill, they do count independently. Resonance Liberation will create 1 Ice Glaciers, Resonance skill will create 1 Ice Prism, and intro skill will create 1 Ice Storm. Eventually, she will utilize this to detonate all of them at once by using her special heavy attack, Detonate. It is also worth to mention that Sanhua has this clarity, stacking 1 or 2 times at max. Doing basic attack 5 times will count as 1 stack, intro skill is also 1 stack, resonance skills giving 1 stack, and Resonance Liberation giving 2 stacks. As for quick swap combo, which I recommend, you want to switch to Sanhua, straight up use her ultimate first, heavy attack, follow up by her resonance skills, heavy attack again, and then use echo, and then switch. As for easy rotation detonation combo, you want to use her echo, 5 times of basic attack, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, follow up by resonance skills, jump and plunge, and then detonate. And switch. Moving on to Echoes, there are two ways to build her. One is SubDPS damage, and second is SubDPS buffer. For SubDPS damage, I recommend you to use Lampy Lumen Mirite since it is the best for her because of the Echoes ability. Since her resonance skill type damage significantly count about 33%, Lumpiman Mirate is very high priority as the main echo for Sanhua. Equipping 5 pieces of Freezing Frost will passively increase Sanhua's Glacio damage upon basic attack or heavy attack. Now for sub-DPS buffer, I recommend to use the Impermanent Heron. Upon using this echo skill and hit target, the next target damage output will be boosted by 12% for 15 seconds, cooldown for 25 seconds, that means there is downtime for 10 seconds before it can be used again. I suggest 5 pieces of Moonlit Clouds for the increased attack for your next DPS. Very important to note here that you should use only sub-DPS buffer if you have top tier main DPS such as Encore or Jiyan. For main stats, Echo that costs 4, you want to have crit rate or crit damage at the main stat. At cost 3, aim for 30% Glacio damage bonus or energy regeneration percentage. At cost 1, aim for attack percentage. As for the substats, first is crit rate or crit damage, second best is attack and resonance liberation damage percentage, third is resonance skill damage, fourth is energy regeneration percentage, and lastly flat attack. As for the weapon, currently the best weapon for Sanhua is the 5-star Emerald of Genesis because as a sub-DPS, this weapon increases energy regeneration and attack scaling on crit rate. Second best is the 4-star weapon Commando of Conviction, coming in third is the Lunar Cutter, and finally the Battle Supplies weapon, Lumen Gloss, rank 4th. These weapons are scaling on attack percentage. The difference between these 4-star weapons are just less than 9%, so either one of those 3 are absolutely fine. You can obtain these weapons from pulling on the Novice or Beginner or Permanent Convene banner. Now speaking of sequence, Sanhua is absolutely top tier at sequence 0. However, the best for her is sequence 3, 4, and 6. At sequence 3, the damage dealt by Sanhua is increased by 35% on enemies below 70% HP. At sequence 4, her ultimate Glacial Gaze restores 10 resonance energy and the damage of the next heavy attack detonate is increased by 120% within 5 seconds. At sequence 6, after Ice Prism or Glacier is detonated, all team members' attack is increased by 10% for 20 seconds, stacking 2 times. That being said, though she shines amazingly at these 3 sequence points, she is very F2P friendly. Moving on to the team comp, for her to be main DPS, Jianxin, Rover Spectro, and Yang are your best friend. Jianxin and Yang will work as crowd control, helping Sanhua achieve maximum burst damage when facing multiple targets. Additionally, Jianxin's Ultra skill provides resonance liberation damage deepen, which is great for Sanhua aiming for high damage numbers. On the other hand, Spectro, Rover, Stasis Aura also increases Sanhua's burst hit rate, and not to mention the time stopping ability from Rover. Now for sub-DPS Sanhua, generally you want to put 5-star main DPS like Jiyan, Calcharo, Encore, Liang, or even Rover Havoc to pair her with. For support and healing buffing, you can select either Farina or Baizi. Farina will provide 20% attack buff to the entire team, similar as Murtafi at sequence 6, and yes, it is stackable. On top of that, her skill provides one-time death immunity effect, meaning that your main DPS will survive on a lethal damage. Baizi is a good healing alternative for all Wuthering Wave characters if you don't have Farina. She provides similar effect that's better than Farina, but only at sequence 5. Note that I do not have all characters maxed out due to Wuthering Wave just being released, which resources are the most valuable and really tight at the moment. So for the moment, I'm utilizing what I have access to in order to provide valuable information for you. I'm Timothy Friendly, and if you find this video helpful, why not share it to your friends. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe, like, and definitely comment which character do you want me to make videos on. Until then, I have a video of Encore or Mortafi popping up on screen right now, and maybe you want to watch it too. See you, and God bless always. Thank you so much. Meanwhile, probably I will just like stare into her eyes. All right, thank you. Click, click, click. Don't forget to subscribe.